The owners of a broken river bridge on the Norfolk-Suffolk border say they'll spend over £1 million fixing it. Somerleyton swing bridge carries trains on the Lowestoft to Norwich line and only opens twice a day for boats at the moment. Network Rail will start repairing the Victorian structure next week.
The Essex singer and the X Factor favourite Matt Cardle is climbing the online charts thanks to his success on the show. His former band's album is at number 26 on Amazon's album download chart. That's despite the band not having a record deal. The 27-year-old painter is currently the favourite to win the reality show, and we wish him lots of luck this weekend.
Now, hundreds of people, mostly women, queued for hours in Norwich today to meet TV presenter and fashion guru Gok Wan. He was at a department store signing copies of his new autobiography.
Now, Gok arrived at lunchtime, but some of those queuing had been there since 8:30 this morning. I managed to work my way through the crowds to meet him. In the midst of this scrum is someone who's used to putting others in the spotlight. Hundreds packed out Gerald's department store to meet the man who's managed to turn even the most bashful into super confident women, making them look and feel so good that they've bared all in shop windows and on catwalks.
Oh, he's just lovely. He just makes everybody feel better, and if you're feeling bad, he will make, boost you up.
He brings out the best in people. He gives you the confidence to feel good about yourself.
Yeah. There you go. It's nice to meet you. Enjoy the read.
In Gok Wan's new autobiography, he reveals details about his childhood, the fact he was bullied and how he suffered from the eating disorder anorexia. He feels he's been able to help people because of his experiences.
I love working with real people. I love the fact that, I can possibly have a bit of a difference on their lives. And my own story, the anorexia, and also being very obese when I was bigger as well and being bullied, it's allowed me to be very empathetic with people. And so when I'm working with them, there is a natural connection. And I understand it. When someone says to me, Gok, I don't like what I see in the mirror, I get it. I understand it. Hey, gorgeous. How are you, Robin?
Those at the front of the queue had been waiting since 8:30 this morning.
He inspires women, no matter what size they are, just to go out there and just, literally embrace fashion, and, it gives them so much confidence.
He just treats everybody the same. It doesn't matter what size or shape or colour you are, you're brilliant to him.
Listening to some of the women here today, they're saying, oh, I hope I've got the
right... What are they saying?
I hope I've got the right shade of lipstick on and things like that. I mean, do you... When you see people, are you always thinking of fashion? And
do you know what? I don't actually. I think people are more worried about what they're going to wear when they come to meet me than I'm bothered about what they're wearing. And if anybody asked me for their advice, of course I'd give it to them. But I don't. But I wouldn't just go out there and just go and and criticise someone for what they're wearing. It's none of my business.
He certainly made an impact on the lives of these women. It was the first of his book signings across the country, and Norwich gave him a very warm welcome.
Thank you, Angel. It's really kind of you.
So was he nice then?
He was. He's just like he is on the telly, which is nice to go and see him and meet him and be like that.
Did he manage to keep his hands to himself? Because he's got a habit of touching women, hasn't he?
Neil. Now you can see my full interview with Gok.
Confidence.
You can see the full interview with Gok on the website. There's loads more news, sport and weather. The website again, itv.com/Anglia.
Now, let's move on before we get into trouble. They were designed to help people get out and about, perhaps taking them from their home to their local supermarket.
But now someone's found another use for the humble mobility scooter, and today he's been showing it off at the Santa Pod Raceway in Northamptonshire. Lauren Carter went to see it in action.
It's a venue designed for speed and excitement. The Santa Pod Raceway in Northamptonshire is normally used for motorsports, but today the cars have been replaced with something a little less stylish and a lot more unexpected.
Don't worry, you're not seeing things. That really is a mobility scooter. And it really is trying to travel at speeds of up to 70 miles an hour.
As you may have noticed, this isn't your average mobility scooter. It has a motorbike engine hidden under the seat. It now runs on petrol, has a twin exhaust and 5 gears.
Well, you see these old folks going around on these mobility scooters, and thought they could do with a little bit more speed. Loads of old people are going to want these. The little boy races in their childhood.
Today, its creator Colin Furze was determined to push it to its limits, taking the mobility scooter up to 70 miles an hour. It's hoped this will have set a new world record. At 70 miles an hour, it's nearly 10 times the speed of your average mobility scooter. Colin, unsurprisingly, is no stranger to weird and wacky inventions. This is his flame-throwing scooter. He also holds world records for the biggest bonfire and the longest motorbike.
Well, he was always outdoors making dens and making go-karts and that kind of thing. He was never one for staying indoors and reading or anything like that.
Did you ever imagine, as a man in his 30s, he'd be racing a mobility scooter?
Well, not really, but I think men are a bit like that. They never grow up, do they?
Over at the winner's podium, Colin, of course, had plenty to celebrate. He may not have had any champagne, but there's no doubt he has the world's #1 mobility scooter. Lauren Carter, Anglia News, at the Santa Pod Raceway.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I want one of those scooters, I certainly do.
Here's what to expect on the national news in a couple of minutes.
Coming up on the ITV News, reunited in freedom.
Now, it's been a pretty grey day today, hasn't it? But the weekend is supposed to be good. Here's the forecast with a